All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today I'm going to be bringing to you guys another exhibition Heart of the Swarm broadcast, but this is going to be a special one because rarely do I ever do a 2v2, and I'm told that this is a very high level 2v2. We actually have the Red Zerg player Sojin here, who is a rank 1 Grandmaster. We have TIJFG. I was going to say thank God it's Friday, but I guess it's not TGIF. He is going to be the Red Protoss at the 1130 position. He is also a top level GM player in Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty. We have Alalaikanen here, who apparently streams quite a bit on Team Liquid and is also a very high level top rank 1, I believe, Grandmasters in Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm, and his teammate is going to be Blimper, who is the blue Protoss player in the bottom right, and he is going to be also a top level GM. So basically all four players here are very high level. They are top of their class. Very excited to see a 2v2 in Heart of the Storm here because, you know, I've fooled around a little bit. I've played some 4v4s and whatnot, you know, haha. That's good fun, but I haven't really casted a top tier 2v2 in Heart of the Swarm, and rarely do I ever do 2v2s just because it's not really my thing. I feel like 1v1s are a lot more encompassing of the professionalism of StarCraft 2. 2v2s tend to break down the game into a whole nother atmosphere. You know, you have a lot more cheese, you have a lot more rushing, but in a way, that's also fun to watch too, so we'll see what happens here. It is, once again, a Protoss and a Zerg teaming up against a Terran and a Protoss. So we have one from every race representing here, and we have Protoss getting a little bit of double representation. So their two tribes have split apart here. And the Udon Crystal and the Kaidaran Crystal, I think that's what they're called. Anyways, we do have Overlords making their way over from Sojin. And, you know, it's nice here that in the game the colors break down from red and blue, but just because I kind of prefer to keep the colors separate when I'm casting, I'm going to go ahead and separate the colors a little bit here. I think that makes it easier on the eyes, especially if you're watching the minimap. You can see who's fighting who and what's happening, so that's going to stay like that. And at the moment in time, it looks like both players are playing pretty safe. They are just walling up, at least the bottom right-hand side is, Blimper and Alalaikanen. And actually, this map, I believe, is called Refraction. I have never played on this map nor casted on it, so I'll give you guys a quick virtual guided tour here. You can see that the main base does have a little bit of an exposed path with these ice. Just ice? Okay, so we have a little bit of missing nose going on here. If you guys ever played Pokemon, you guys will get the reference. You have to break through the ice to get into the base. I don't know if this is a collapsible thing or not. It doesn't look like it is. It looks like it's just a patch of ice. And then you can get inside the main base, and there are basically two entrances. One where you can blockade off, and one where that is iced off. There is only one available inside expansion for these two players, and on the other side of the map, because this team does have a Zerg player, they have decided not to wall off, because as Zerg you never really want to wall off. You can't as Zerg, it just takes too much effort with the creep preventing your teammates' buildings from going down. So Sojin just says, I'm going to quick expand here and try to play macro, and hopefully TIJFG, Tifig, will be able to defend and keep me safe. And, you know, usually as a Protoss, to defend a player who's going quick hatch, you want to go 4-gate, in 2v2, or you want to go like 3-gate stalkers, I guess is what he's going for right now. And of course you also get the Mothership Core from both sides as well, so maybe the Mothership Core will make a bit of an appearance here as the Hellions make their way up into the main. And Alkaline gonna try to do some early damage here. Don't know if he was streaming or not, but apparently he's going to be the one to try to draw first blood as he comes into the Protoss main base. He is going to see the Twilight Council, and at this moment in time, when you see a Twilight Council, especially with the new changes in Heart of the Swarm, you have to be extra careful about potential DTs, because Dark Templar, the Dark Shrine, now doesn't cost as much anymore, meaning it's much easier to produce. So I think what Alkaline is going around doing right now is trying to get some probe kills and whatnot, but also he wants to try to check to see if there's any Dark Shrines, and he didn't see anything. And so he did also see the Twilight Council kind of blinking right there, and that blink usually means that they're getting blink. So yes, we do have blink on the way, but Blimper and Alkaline are just going to make their attack and their presence known here, and they are going to try to take out this pylon. This Mothership Core needs to be careful though, as she's not the most powerful unit, but there is a Widow Mine from Alkaline that somehow snuck its way into the base. Oh, this Widow Mine going to try to save the Mothership Core, and it does just that. TIJFG getting a little bit too close for comfort, has to back out. Another mine is coming in. It's absolutely crucial here that you don't let these Widow mines just stick around and get kills all day long. He is going to be able to kill off one of the mines before they can burrow down. But right now, it is prudent for the top left-hand team for Sogen and Tifig to get some detection out on the map, because if they don't, these Widow mines are going to be the death of them. Finally, a Mothership Core comes out. Revelation can reveal the burrowed units. And will he go ahead and use some Revelation here? Because on the other side of the map, it looks like they're reinforcing here with more forces, so they've got to get rid of these Widow mines. Especially this one that's already gotten 6 kills already. Just burrowed in the most inconspicuous position. It's going to get a little bit more damage if this Mothership Core doesn't use Revelation. I think what's going on here is Sogen and Tifig do not realize that there is a mine there. Sometimes in the heat of battle, especially in a 2v2, things get frantic, and it's hard to keep a track of what's going on. Now, a Mothership Core did just go down, one of them just floating in the worst position possible. This Widow mine is refreshed, so I'm keeping my eyes on this right now, because at any moment, man, the Zerg could lose a ton of Zerglings. Like maybe 8 or so could easily fall to a Widow mine, and you don't want to let that happen. Tifig here is pushing out, though. He's being very aggressive. Meanwhile, the Queen ends up inadvertently walking over and tripping the mine, but luckily the Queen has just 15 more HP than the mine can deal and will survive. Now, he's got to be careful here. Sogen and Tifig trying to make an attack, but there's a wall and there's Widow mines in front of the wall, so I don't know how wise this is, but he is going to proc all the mines first, so he trips the mines, and now he's going to go in using the Stalkers and the Mothership Core to break down the wall and allow the Zerglings to flood in. Actually, Alkaline and Blimper are in a lot of trouble right now. The supply depot has fallen, and the Stalkers are making the Zerglings are making their way in to fight off the Stalkers, and now will Blimper be able to make a hold for Alkaline, who's trying to go for Banshees with Cloak, and he's trying to get Siege Mode out of the way, so he was teching up furiously, but, you know, taking all that time to tech up is going to end up costing him, as all of these units are running inside, and the Zerglings there are finding their way over to the back of the Nexus, so Blimper is going to lose some probes as well as units continue to flood in, but the mines are refreshing. The mines are refreshing, and that might be enough to hold off the wave of reinforcements here, as Alkaline and Blimper do their desperate best to hang on and not lose too many workers. You can see their income here. The blue, the teal, and the purple is starting to drop. Their workers are not mining, and they're losing SCVs and probes as well, but the mines are refreshing and doing a splendid job of holding on to the wall here. Will Alkaline and Blimper be able to survive? There's so many Stalkers here. It's just coming down to barely the Widow mines and the units that, whatever units they can make on the field right now. A tank has come out, and Siege Mode is not researched. So apparently Siege Mode, the tech lab, was killed off. It might have been the tech lab in the front. I didn't catch that. But so Siege Mode was not researched, which is crucial, because if they want to be able to defend here, they so desperately need Siege Mode available. And the Zerglings are still running around the back here, doing an absolutely crazy amount of damage. The tank goes down, and this game could just be over right now. I don't know how they're going to survive. Another tank does come out. These Stalkers and Zealots got to be careful. They don't want to back up into those mines. They know that there's a minefield there. They are going to be able to take out a tank. Good job right there. We do have Infestors coming out from the Red Zerg player, who's just been sending in Zerglings and saving up his gas for the next wave of tech. And his Zerglings have just killed off so many workers already. It's actually amazing that the purple player and the teal player still have 38 and 36 workers. Really incredible. So if they can hold on here, they might still be in the game, but it's going to be a tough call. Zerglings still running up into this base, doing tons of damage. And Blimper and his Immortal, will they be able to hold on? The cybernetic score has fallen, so you can't make any more Stalkers. And really, Alkaline doesn't have anything but a Banshee on the field. That's his main form of aggression. He is sending in Widow Mines, though, to try to do damage back. He's sending in one Widow Mine apiece to the top left-hand side of the map. He is going to get this mine burrowed. Beautiful play. And he's going to get this mine able to get 9 kills already, up to 12 kills right now. Absolutely amazing, and that might force the recall of forces here. Those 2 mines by themselves just, I think, might have saved Alkaline and Blimper from certain death. I thought they were done for, but maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see what happens with these 2 mines, man. As they refresh every 40 seconds, they do so much damage. I don't know if Sogen and his teammate Tifig realize what's going on right now. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. The Mothership Core comes out as well. She's got to reveal. She's got to use Revelation, but I don't think she realizes There we go. So Tafig does see what's going on. He should send his probes to kill it off or just use his mothership core. And there it goes. Do they realize there's another mine back here as well? They've got to notice. And really, that just single-handedly might have kept the purple and the teal player in the game. And now they're actually starting to take this, the lead. Well, maybe not quite yet. They've lost so many workers so far in this battle. But they will take the lead soon here if these Widow Mines continue to do damage. This one's already got 9 kills. We'll see what happens. This game is getting pretty heated. It's been heated for a while. The oven has been preheated to 450 degrees, but we are going beyond those numbers now because the Banshee's coming in and no. Does not use Cloak, does not pass go, does not collect 200. Okay. Down on the bottom side, though, we do have a Nexus coming up for the Blue Protoss player. He desperately needs an expansion. You know, you'll note on this 2v2 map, there is only one in-base expansion for the teams. So to get another expansion down for your teammate who was forced into a one-base situation, it is pretty hard to do. But we can see that Tafig here is making the first stab at doing so, and this Xel'Naga Tower certainly is going to help him out. If he can keep a unit there, that will definitely allow him to defend a little bit better. As will we see Blimper take a grab at maybe one of these expansions outside of their base? They definitely should. It does look like he is. Yeah, there we go. There's a Nexus coming right now as he sends a Warp Prism down to the bottom left-hand side. And we could possibly see some warp-in shenanigans here from Blimper, who has a fleet beacon already, and is building up Tempest on one base in the back of his main base. This is weird. Now, the Tempest, obviously, they're not as strong as they were before. They're a little bit nerfed. Finally, the Widow Mine goes down, the one back there. Don't know how many kills that sucker got. But as I was saying before, the Tempests are a little bit nerfed now. They don't do as much damage to massive on ground anymore. So they're not a direct counter to something like to Mass Mech or Thor's or anything like that, but they're still pretty good. They're very good against air, same as they always have been, and they're decent against ground now. Not amazing, but decent. So we'll see what happens. On that production tab, the Zerg is continuing to make infestors. Apparently he didn't get the memo that infestors are nerfed now, but they're still, they're still pretty good. I think it was a fair nerf. Definitely warranted, as Alkaline now is going to try to back up his opponent, or teammate's base, excuse me, by killing off the rock tower. That is very smart. I didn't realize this, but if you kill off this tower, you do present a bit of a natural defense here for your teammate's expansion, and that actually does make a lot of sense. Just go down this natural pathway where the rocks once were, and then expand down here and break down these rocks. Very nice map design here from Blizzard. I definitely like it. You just got to fix the missing no glitch on the ice tower, but we do have the Zerg claiming a third hatchery now. You'll remember that on this map there isn't, if you look on the mini map right now, there isn't a lot of bases to go around. So this game isn't going to be like some epic every player has 4 or 5 base scenario. It's going to dwindle down pretty soon because there's only so many expansions remaining, but we'll see what happens. Alkaline does have a Raven out, and the Ravens now, with their new secret missiles, are quite deadly. A Dark Templar comes in, but whoa, gets taken out immediately because it was under the umbrella of the Ravens' detection, and the Tempest able to take it down. So the quick DTs unable to do any damage. We have 3 more DTs warping in here, and it looks like they are going to go and become Archons. I think he just said, well, my DTs have been detected. No point trying to send him in to do damage. I'm just going to make him into Archons. And that's not a bad idea at all, especially since there's a Raven out on the field. And right now we do have Hydralisk speed coming for the Zerg players, so it does seem like both, incredibly so in this 2v2, things have stabilized. It is now a 2v2 with both players on multiple bases. They have macroed up to the point where the aggression has ended, and now it's all about big armies and big collisions in the center of the map. The leading players for each team is the Red Zerg and the Purple Terran, as you would expect, because they were the players that were able to get the early in-base expansion. But their 2 Protoss counterparts are not that far behind. Both of them are actually identical in supply, 91 to 94, and the interesting thing here is one of the Protoss players is opting to go for the more traditional ground. The other Protoss player, the backup for Alkaline, is going for Tempests, and he's amassed a pretty sizable number of them already. He's got 4 Tempests on the field. I'd definitely like to see him get +1 weapons for air, though. It looks like he's going for ground right now, so I don't know why that's the case, but we even have Swarmos coming out here for the Red Zerg player, for Sojin, so this is quite crazy. A random Hellbat at the top here. says, I can burn down anything, is going to try to flame out the assimilator. He should be careful though, someone didn't tell him that gas is very ignitable. But it looks like to get Fig here is going to go ahead and put out the flames, and he is going to take out that Hellbat. So there it goes, as another Nexus has plans to go ahead and go down. Meanwhile, on the bottom left-hand side, Blimper here making a little bit of push. And the nice thing about Tempest is you can force an engagement from the enemy player when you have Tempest on the field, because they have so much range and they can traverse any type of terrain. Given that they're an air unit, you can force engagements when you feel like things are favorable for you. And it does look like that's what Alkaline and Blimper want to do. Alkaline, it's hard to pronounce his name, sorry guys. But they are going to go in here and try to take out this Nexus. Gonna start to fire on it. They've got a lot of long-range units, not just Tempest, but also siege tanks. So here we go to Fig and his teammate coming in with everything. Where are the Swarmos though? But we can see the fungal growth is coming down. Raven's dropping out PDDs, not Seeker missiles. And this is the epic battle. Infested Terrans even coming out as well. Now the Infested Terrans a little bit more fragile. They only have 70 HP, but they're still, as they come out, they still do a lot of damage. And that's exactly what Sojin is doing. Now the upgrades do not share. They don't get +1 ranged anymore, but still it looks like Sojin and Tefig are able to clean up the middle of the map. Incredible. As the Tempests are completely in full-on retreat right now. Tefig is going to give chase with the Archons and try to take out these Tempests, but it looks like they are going to be able to make it back home just in time. Brilliant battle right there. The one unit we did not see, that was a full-on HOTS battle, but the one unit we did not see was the Swarm Host. Maybe we will see the Swarm Host making a guest appearance now, as a couple of them are out on the field. And I definitely feel like the purple Terran and the teal Protoss are in trouble right now. The bottom right-hand corner team, they just lost their entire army. They are going to try to go for some backstab attacks here with this Banshee coming around the backside. Going to get a couple of kills. Not bad. But Tefig should be able to deal with this, as he's got more Stalkers coming, I'm sure. Yeah, that last Stalker should be able to clean up. So it almost seems like what we have here is, you know, Blimper and Alkaline going for Siege Tanks, Tempest, trying to really round up their army with massive Death Ball status, getting a lot of long-range units. But the problem here is the more standard Tier 2 army of Roach, Hydra, Archon, Charge Lot, Infestors is just rampaging through their composition. So we'll see if they're going to be able to recover after losing their entire army here. But we do have Alkaline going for another command center in the gold. Now this is not scouted out by the enemy team, interestingly enough. I'm trying to show you guys their vision there. They don't see it. They have no idea that there is a base there. And Blimper wisely dropping a few pylons here too, so he can warp out reinforcements to help out his teammates should he ever need to. Meanwhile, they still have the long-range superiority here, so they can pick their fights accordingly. A couple of changelings gonna go and get some scouting intelligence, but they are taken out. No, they're not. They are gonna be able to get in there, but now automatically fired down by Blimper's targeting. As the Roaches and Hydras getting a little too close for comfort right there. He's gotta play this carefully. And I'm surprised he's not using some of his Swarm Hosts. I'm trying to see how many Swarm Hosts there are on the field. There's actually none right now. So I was going to say, you know, some Swarm Hosts right now would be able to give him a little, give the top left team a little bit more peace of mind, because they could send in a wave of units constantly to keep the Terran and the Protoss on their toes, to keep Blimper and Alkaline on their toes. But we'll see if Tefig and Sojin even do that. It doesn't look like they are. It looks like they're going to go for a two-pronged attack here. One from the north, one from the west. And will this be enough to break through the tank line? That's a lot of tanks. And the Tempests here are starting to go down. Even some Changelings up in the mix. It looks like Alkaline and his teammate Blimper are going to lose everything. Their entire tank count is decimated once again. There's just too many Roaches and Hydras on the ground, and the Tier 2 basic army is just running through and doing so much damage. There's nothing that the Purple Terran can do. Even though he's got this hidden expansion, he's sending all of his SCVs over there right now, but it's almost like he's leaving a cookie crumb trail here for the rest of the army to go and say, ah, there's where you're mining out of. One Hellbat comes out. I got this, guys. Goes down. And now these SCVs. Oh, will they make it through? That's a lot of workers. Well, some of them on the tail end, they're getting blown up by the Archon, but the rest of them seem like they make it out alive, only to run into Sojin's Roaches. And now, yeah, that's gotta be it. but a very long 2v2 right there. Finally, some Swarm Hosts making their way. 9 Swarm Hosts, in fact. There are some Widow Mines still on the ground doing decent damage, but I think at this point, I do feel like Alkaline could still make a defensive hold because he's Terran, he's got a lot of siege tanks, and he's got Templar backup from his teammates, so they can still hold on here. But, you know, looking at the army supply of the game kind of tells a story. It's 170 plus 120 compared to 63 plus 106. Losing 2 big battles in a row just hurts so much, and while they can play defensively, you know, they're gonna run out of money. That's the bottom line about it. Blimper is running out of money over here, and unfortunately they cannot mine out of these 2 bases because they lost both of them, and there's burrowed roaches now camping under that location. So pretty devastating blows here after those last 2 fights. He needs to get this orbital command landed down, but he doesn't see that there is a burrowed roach there. Now the Swarmos, man, they've been called in for cleanup duty, and now they're gonna that one Swarmos was trying to get underground, but he ended up going 20 feet in the air instead. Oh man, Blizzard physics for the win. And meanwhile, we do have the rocks going down here as Tafig is going to go ahead and break through. He's looking to get the gold expansion. And once he breaks down these rocks, he's going to be able to get up here and take out this base as well. Nothing that Blimper can do about this, I feel like. Doesn't have a mothership core nearby for the photonic overcharge ability. And even if he did, it wouldn't make much of a difference anyways. Yeah, that's got to be it. That Nexus is down now, and the Mothership Core recalls the army out after the Nexus goes down. Very, 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 very GM right there. Good stuff. He pulls out, and now, you know, I mean, honestly, he didn't need to stay. We do have the tanks actually pushing out from Alkaline. It's basically a one-man team at this point now, guys. It's 1 versus 2. Alilika 9 versus everybody else. Will he have enough? I don't think so, man. That Protoss army that was recalled back is standing on the high ground of the Zonaga Tower. There are Swarm Hosts that he's got to burst through here as well. He's not doing a bad job, though. He is, you know, starting to break down these Swarm Hosts, and actually, he's at 137 supply. He's got the highest supply in the game right now. Could he actually bust through this army in the middle of the map? Is it possible right now? His tanks are at 2-2, so they are doing a ton of damage. And Sojin's hatchery, he stole it from Alilikaline, but the Purple Terran is going to get it back here. It looks like he's got tanks over here as well. But there's an Infestor underground. Sojin throwing out some infested Terrans. Oh my god. And the Teal Protoss has reclaimed his Nexus and has a position of defense here on the high ground as well. I cannot believe this. Are they really going to come back and win this game? This is incredible. How the hell did that happen? How does the Red Zerg and the Blue Protoss, Tafig and Sojin, not have enough money to keep playing this game? I'm looking at their income right now. It looks like they're running pretty dry. And here comes Blimper. He's being aggressive right now with his Templars. Oh, but this is a bad attack. He's going to lose all of his Templar. I don't know why you would do. Why would you run your Templar into the clearly superior evolved form, the Archons? Archons are like, psionic energy. We take that and use it for our own. And Tafig just eats up that army for breakfast. But Alkaline is just going to double expand, it looks like, even though these 2 expansions are not in a safe spot because obviously the Blue Protoss can just attack at any moment in time. I think right now Alkaline is going to reset and say, okay, forget the Gold Hatchery, forget attacking up here. I'm going to move my army down here and try to protect these 2 command centers. And one of the command centers is going to go down. It looks like it's on fire. He will get it out of the harm's way for now, but if he can hold on against this Archon charge out army, he might still be in a pretty good spot. But oh no, the Muta's coming in, and he has no way to fight Mutas unless he can pull them back to the Widow Mines. He's got Widow Mines here. Now the Mutas clump up, the Widow Mines could do so much damage. Oh, well, it looks like they didn't hit the center of that Muta pack. That's kind of the thing about fighting with Widow Mines, is you cannot tell the Widow Mine where to target. It just goes wherever it pleases, and in that situation right there, pretty much the Widow Mines went after the wrong spots. So somebody needs to reprogram those mines for better artificial intelligence, because that obviously could have went much better there. But at least Alkaline doesn't lose all of his tanks. He keeps a significant chunk of them alive. All the players here have lost considerably vast amounts of resources here, as Alkaline is going to be dropping down missile turrets to help protect against the mines, but missile turrets don't do you any good against these Archons coming out from Tafig. Tafig. Man, why are all these players' names so hard to pronounce? That command center goes down, And meanwhile, wow, a mule was dropped to repair the orbital or the command center that was burning in the skies. I thought it was going to go down for sure. It was looking like the Zeppelin of death and fire, but Alkaline brings in a repairing mule to bring it back alive, and now Blimper brings his forces to save this base. Meanwhile, a massive brawl in the middle of the map. Muta's gonna do a lot of damage, but there are Thors down here in their standard mode, which are able to take out Mutas very quickly. And Alkaline is gonna be able to push most of the Zerg army back. What about the Protoss, Tempest, and Archons? So in the bottom side, the Nexus has gone down due to Blimper's assistance, but these Archons and Tempests are actually very good against tanks and whatnot. But I don't know if Tifig wants to actually push into that much firepower. He does have backup, though, in the form of a few Swarm Hosts, whatnot, but there's a Widow Mine there! There's a Widow Mine there! It looks like it, maybe not. Maybe not. I might have caught something wrong on the edge of my eye, but, Alkaline's got to play this carefully because those Tempests are just going to be able to long range his Archons all day long. He's got to switch his Thors into high impact payload mode, and that's what he's done here. The Thors are in high impact payload, which allows them to take down the Tempests much more easily, but they lose their splash damage, so they're more effective against Tempests, less effective against Mutas. Now, it looks like Alkaline going to get back up from Blimper here with his Stalkers. This is an incredible 2v2 game, and I still don't know how this is going to go down. Tifig just has so many Tempests, man. He's got 9 Tempests in the skies. First, basically, it's going to come down to the micro here. If he can keep his Tempest alive, then what army does Alkaline have to take out the Tempest? He does have the new Thors. The new Thors with the high impact payload, able to do 30 damage a shot, are pretty damn good against Tempest. And of course, Tempest don't do extra damage to massive on ground anymore. So I don't know, guys, your guess, really, it's as good as mine. Of course, a lot of this is going to come down to whether or not Sojin can back up with enough roaches and ground armies to actually help out the Protoss. It almost seems like things have just completely gone away from what I was going to say. They're going to go. I didn't think that this 2v2 was going to get down to every player getting every last base, going into a super 37-minute macro game. Are you kidding me? And I thought for sure the game was going to end about 10 minutes ago, but I was proven wrong. And now Sojin, he does have a lot of drones mining this gold hatchery. Wow, is he making a lot of money. But now Blimper sends his zealots up there. That's going to go down. But in exchange, Sojin takes out Blimper's Nexus. So he says, oh, you kill my hatchery, I kill your Nexus. And it looks like these zealots are probably going to go down. Even some SCVs were sent up there as well. So now almost seems like we might have a little bit of backstab action here as these roaches are going in for this Nexus. But there really isn't anything to be mined here, so it doesn't really matter. Meanwhile, what about the tank, the mech army? I'm just going to call it the mech army here versus the bio army, because basically Tifig here, besides the Tempest, has a bio army of Archons and Templars with the Zerg. So here we go. It looks like Tifig is cornered in here because he killed off his own rock, so he's blocked in. He can't get out. He is going to die. His army is going to die, and his teammate's hatchery is going to fall as well. And Alkaline and his teammate looking to maybe make a push here. They've got a big army. Meanwhile, on the backhand side, Sojin has a lot of idle roaches. He needs to be aggressive with these roaches as he's taking damage. He needs to be dishing damage back out as well. He's going to try to take out this planetary fortress. Should be able to do just that. Meanwhile, he's going to lose a hatchery up here on the top-hand side. Tempests have fallen back over the ridge where they get maximum range. And the orbital, the planetary fortress does go down. Incredible game right now. I just have no words to describe how epic this 2v2 is. Absolutely brilliant. And now it looks like Alkaline gonna pull back. I'm so sorry, guys, about the pronunciation of their names, but he is gonna pull back. I'm used to it now, you know. He's gonna pull back and be able to take out these roaches, but not before they kill off his orbital command. So he does push away the roaches, excuse me. And now Tifig trying to get a Nexus up. He's been out of the game for a while now, trying to get some money made. Will he be able to do just that? Not out of the game in terms of army, but out of the game in terms of money. He needs another Nexus pretty badly here. So will he be able to get this one mining? I don't think he'll be able to keep it safe, as most of the army is going down here. And I really like what Alkaline and Blimper are doing right now. What they're doing is strategically picking off Nexi and expansions that are mining. Look, you can see the bling right here saying, hey, could be a Nexus here. Let's go take it out. It looks like there isn't, though, because there's a Widow Mine that just killed 3 drones. And I like what they're doing. They're strategically taking out the important bases, the ones that they know are the lifeblood for the enemy team. I also like how the Terran is leaving some SCVs on auto repair. I saw earlier the SCVs repairing the Stalkers. I don't know if you guys ever knew that, but yes, they can repair. So well, hold that thought here. Tafig and his army going to come in with Sojin, Swarm Hosts, and Roaches. A storm going down right there, gonna hit a couple of changelings, it looks like, and he's got to be careful here. Doesn't want to take damage like that on those Archons. He's got to use his Tempest first to take out the tanks. Beautiful play right there. Looking at the income for both players here, they are running very low on money, so every single unit you see on the field definitely matters, and it definitely seems like right now the supply is hugely in favor of Sojin and Tafig. They've got almost they've got more than 200 supply combined, whereas Alkaline and Blimper only have about 140. So I don't know, guys, this is looking pretty bad right now for Alkaline, but can he win the fight? He's got Templar backup as well from Blimper. If they can get a couple of good storms down, it can change the landscape of this game. One storm drops, but is it gonna be enough? Oh, Fungal Growth comes out from that solo infestor in the back. Another pair of storms coming out as well. Absolutely epic battle here. But it looks like Alkaline has to pull back. He will not have enough firepower to burst through, even though, yeah, he just doesn't have enough firepower to burst through. He's going to lose most of his tanks on the retreat here, and this game is looking like it might be concluded in the next few moments, because unless a miracle happens, Tafig and Sojin are going to win this game. Absolutely incredible. High-level Grandmasters 2v2. You rarely see them go into a 43-minute epic fest, but that's exactly what happened here. And Stormhost is going to go ahead and burrow down and do what they do best. We do have drones coming out to take out the Stalkers from Blimper, who's been holding on to this this gold expansion for a while. It's like, I hold the booty here, this minerals belong to me. But it doesn't matter at this point. I think it might be GG. There it is, GG, Alkaline and Sojin and Tafig and Blimper and all these hard to pronounce names. The only one that I didn't have difficulty with was Blimper and Sojin, but that was epic. Incredible 2v2. Look at workers just distance mining all over the place, and up until the last few minutes, I had no idea who was gonna win. Your guess, guys, was as good as mine. It could have gone either way. I actually did think that Alkaline and Blimper were going to lose a little bit earlier, the two players in the bottom right hand corner. I thought they were done for, but they were able to make just an incredible comeback. I did not think that was possible, but just goes to show you in 2v2, man, the most unpredictable things are possible. And insane 2v2 high Grandmasters game there. Hope you guys enjoyed that broadcast. Once again, if you guys know anybody who wants to have their games casted, they're high-level Heart of the Swarm players, go ahead and send it in at HDreplays@gmail.com. I will take a look, leave a good description. But for now, this is HD StarCraft, and I am signing out.